Hey y'all, it's me, Niecielynn. This is Flosstube 75. I can't even hardly believe that. Flosstube 75. It's the 4th of June, I hope, because last week I was looking at the wrong page and said the wrong date. So, according to my watch, it is the 4th of June. I'm a little late getting going this morning, but I didn't have anything really going on, and so I just took my time. So here we go. That does not mean that I will have myself together. It just means I had more time to forget something, basically, is how that goes. But I did switch up my decorating. I do patriotic throughout the summer, and so I'll switch this background out, but I've got some smalls over here, and then the drawn thread Welcome Summer is here on my primitive toolbox. I did see at Hobby Lobby this week, there are two, not this big, but they did have two in there. So probably other places do have them. I went in there looking for the little box for Happy Birthday America. Kim was out of them at the Stitch Niche, and evidently everybody in the world's out of them. And of course I have one, but I used it to put my A Tisket a Tasket on. Yay. So go me. So now I'm on the search for one again, but I'll find one and get it all done. But that's the reason I was in there. But I did see one in the like raw naked wood part, you know, where there's a part where you can get stuff to paint. They had one smaller than this. And then it seemed like there was one in the summer section. It was probably sectioned off to put like silverware and stuff in if you're having like picnic wear and stuff, you're having people over, but it was over there and you could do just the same thing with it. So I did see those over there. And Rita is putting up her tree. I'm gonna go right into questions and comments, and I'm gonna try to not take forever like I have been lately. She is putting her tree up, and that makes me happy. If that makes Rita happy, I say go dog go. We had at the shop before, you know, we had some that we left up and decorated for every season, sometimes the flower shop and different things. So I don't have a problem with you putting your Christmas tree up and putting your Christmas decorations on it. If it cheers you up right now, I say go for it. If it cheers you up anytime, I say go for it. Say you're having a Christmas in July party and you're getting ready for it, and do have a Christmas in July party. July, when it's so hot, we will all be needing a Christmas in July party around here. I did get in the pool for a few minutes yesterday. It was 79, so it was a little chilly for me. 80 is usually pushing it. But I jumped in for a little bit. I'd been working in the yard and I was real dirty, and so I just jumped in, and I didn't stay in but about 10 minutes, but I did get in there. And Gina, we were talking about going on trips and things. My parents just went. They just got back from their vacation, and now they're running back to Arkansas for the weekend for a wedding. But my daddy likes to try to, I swear, break the land speed record or something when he goes on vacation. He wants to go there and see how fast he can get there, and then get to the next place, and then get to the next place, and then get to the next place, like this. They were gone from Saturday the 22nd to Thursday the 27th. So 6 days. They went, and I want to say Annie said 22,000 miles, but they went through 11 states, and they stopped in they stopped and saw this and stopped and saw this, and they jump in the car, and then he wants to go again. It's hilarious. The vacation with my daddy is like the funniest thing you've ever seen. It's just amazing to me. So Wendy is looking for the Prairie Schooler number 115, and I looked it up and I forgot to write the name of it, but it's something about sewing or thread. I think it had some scissors maybe or something on there, but Prairie Schooler 115. If anybody has it to borrow or sell or anything, or sees it anywhere, holler, because Wendy's looking for it and I didn't see it anywhere. So if you do, holler. Tana wanted to know if I'd seen the classic collection Stony Creek the Ark. I had not seen it, and it is gorgeous, and I don't have it. That thing is incredible. It would, you know, it's a lot of stitching, but it is so pretty. So if y'all haven't seen that and you like arcs, go look that up. And last week we talked about the Christmas arc, which I haven't done that one, don't have it yet, but it is beautiful. But I found several out there that I still, every time I search, I find another little one that I haven't seen or something. So I'm always amazed that there are ones out there, and how I miss them in the times past, or maybe they just have now come up on the secondary market or something. I don't know. But they are some adorable ones. They were, you know, super popular back in the 90s. There was a lot of arc stitching and a lot of arcs and things, and so they were so cute. And then I guess they just kind of went away or something, and now they're back. They're back for me. They've always been for me. But I guess people are seeing, since people are stitching again, that they're starting to re-put those things out. So I love that. And Multi-Craftical Chris said she thinks that maybe in Canada they also say Asian American because they're, you know, it's North America. So she says maybe they just say Asian American. I don't know. Nobody else chimed in to let me know about that, and I forgot to call Hannah Coe and ask. So, and Chris, and I forgot to go find a picture of her. Your profile picture looks so much like my friend Tanya. She is with Jesus now, but whenever I see your comment and I look over there, it makes me so happy because I see Tanya and it makes me think about her. She's so sweet. Our parents were like, you know, growing up, her daddy and my daddy fished together and everything, and I'm from the same small town. And then our kids, Connie is the same age as CJ. They were in school and everything together. They're the same age still now, but they're grown. But whenever I see her profile picture, it makes me happy because it makes me think about Tanya and how sweet she was and how beautiful. Liz, we love some check stop. Y'all, check stop is a thing. Now, it is a crazy thing. Once they got more and more people find out about them. Now the line is long, but it's worth it. But you can go in there and you can get, they call them kolaches and things, but the names are all mixed up, but it doesn't matter. But it's like a little kind of, if you hadn't ever had one, I guess you would say like a Danish pastry, but the bread is excellent. And then they have ones that you would equate with like a pig in a blanket, okay? And so they have the sausage, and then they have the bread around it, and you can get them with jalapenos in there and cheese and all the good things. And we love us some check stop. Anybody who goes, you got to get some and bring back, and you know, drop them off at your friend's house when you go through there, because it is so good. It's out to West Texas, the town of West, not West Texas, the town of West, and it is so good. But I make pig in a blankets all the time because the girls eat them. It's a good like little appetizer thing for me to make for everybody to grab. And if I'm doing finger foods, that's one of the things that I will do every time. And I take cocktail, I think they say cocktail sausages on their little smokies. And you can get the ones with cheese, you can get the turkey ones, whichever, you know, whatever floats your boat. And they're little like this, like they're small. And you can do it with the bigger ones too, but we like the little small ones. And then you get a roll of crescent rolls, right? You know, and they're in the little triangle. And you cut each triangle into a third. So I just take my knife and just do them like this, like quick. It's not slow. I mean, it's a fast thing. And then you take that little cocktail sausages, and sometimes you have to dry them off if they're close to the bottom because then the bread doesn't stick good. So just roll them, you know, have a paper towel there like that. And then roll them up, but just a third of it because they're the little ones. And so I don't like too much, it's like too much bread if you get the other thing, and I don't like the way they look. So, and then just roll them like that. And so if you get a package of the little smokies and you get 3 tubes of crescent rolls, and then you cut each little triangle into a third, and I think there's 8 in there, so you get like 24 out of each one when you do it that way. And then just bake it like the directions says, just watch it. And then you can, like if I'm taking them somewhere, I'll put like brown mustard or spicy German mustard in the middle of my little dish, and then I put them all around it. You know, I just put a dish of that in the center, and then I put them all around it. And they will get eat up super quick, and kids eat them and grown-ups eat them. So when we're doing something that there's a lot of different ages and you don't know what people eat, most everybody will eat a pig in a blanket. And so yes, that is an easy, that's one I do here all the time. And it's talking about like you like the, you know, the sausage kolaches, which they call kolaches, but here again aren't. So the names are all mixed up, but that's a whole different show. But yes, love Czech stop. And she loved it. She misses HEB too. And I'm sorry if you've ever had to move away from HEB after you have one, that's a bad thing. Ava sent me this, and this made me crazy happy. Her son in Gifted and Talented, and when he was, they paired, they would take a kid in Gifted Talented, they would take a kid in like the special ed group, and they would pair them together to do things and stuff, because their motto was, and I thought, this is the best thing. Everyone is my superior, so I can learn from them. Because it's true. Everybody is superior in some way than you. And if you're grown up and you don't know that yet, let me just tell you that today, and you need to go and think about that. Because in some way, every person is your superior. I don't care who you are. And if we thought about that more, and if we acted like that more, I think things would be a whole lot different. But we all have to act like, you know, we're the top dog all the time and strut around like a banty rooster. And that's just not what we need to teach our kids. We need to teach our kids that everybody is special and different, and that there are things we can learn from every person. And I love that, Ava. That just made my whole day. And Lenore, this is a genius idea. Why did I never think about this? She said, I think Jean Ferris talked about, we're talking about your thread being, and I may have it right here so we can talk about this wrinkly thread right here. If you take it off the bobbin, or you need a long piece off your bobbin or whatever, like this one is wrinkly, okay? Because I took it off the bobbin, right? She says you keep a little bitty, like a small sponge in like a screw-on lid container, and then you just run your thread across it like this. So in my mind, I would take a little jar, and I would have a little piece of sponge in there that was damp. And then when I wanted to use it, I would, so it's not standing in water, right? So you're just gonna unscrew it and make sure the sponge is just damp, and then you can set it in a lid and then just run your thread, your floss across it when you're stitching if it's kinky and you think it's gonna wrinkle up or something. So I thought that was a great idea, which of course, there probably is not anything on the planet that Jane doesn't know about stitching, let's be honest. So thank you for sharing that, Lenore, because I had not ever thought about that, I don't think. If one of y'all told me, I forgot it, but you know, I've slept once, so. And Cindy said she knows I love words and I love different words, and she used to live in, I'm gonna try it, Muscadavet. And y'all know I love Punxsutawney, I love all these, Waxahachie, fun, I love these words. So but it's spelled Musquodoboit. So I love that. And she said her little grandson, they're waiting for the new grandbaby still, about 2 weeks I think left. But he's playing with his little animals and showing them, because they're still not opened up. They're up to Canada and they're still not opened up yet. And so they're FaceTiming him, and he's showing them his little animals and asking, you know, where the mother is. And it made me think of the Dr. Seuss book, Does He Have Are You My Mother? One of the boys loved it, and I can't remember which one loved Are You My Mother. They thought that was the funniest thing, the little bird trying to figure out who its mother was. They just thought that was fabulous. So if he doesn't have Are You My Mother by Dr. Seuss, he probably needs that, because the kids love that. Gwen was asking about the Tisket a Tasket pass along and how to get in on the Tisket a Tasket pass along. It is gone on now, or it is on its way, but of course it'll take a little bit because it's coming from Lenore in Australia. So that takes a little bit. Anytime I've mailed things there, it takes a little bit. But then when Dolores stitches it, then she'll let us know. And then, so I'll announce again, hey, Dolores is through stitching Tisket a Tasket, and then we will send it on. So then we'll know it's gone from Lenore to Dolores and then to who and like this. And so we'll just keep on like round robin the one to see where all it goes to. So I'm super excited. That's going to be so fun. And I think, if I'm remembering right, Dolores is Dottie's friend. And Dottie is, which I should keep a piece of paper here so I could write things down. Oh my gosh, is that a piece of paper? Holy smoke. Now if I can find the pen I had a second ago. Here. I'm going to try to write some things down because I know if I could write, y'all. I do know I talk fast sometimes, especially when I get excited. Dottie is Stitching Scotty on Flosstube. She has a Flosstube, and it is like just 2 words, Stitching and like Scotty, like a Scotty dog, like that. So Stitching Scotty. And I think she said Dolores was her friend and that loved birds. So that's the perfect person for it to start out with. So that is super fun, but that's what we're gonna have to do, Gwen. Just listen along, and then as it gets ready to go to the next person, it'll be ready to go on. And okay, while I'm telling about that, I'm gonna tell these, which means I'll probably miss something that I forgot about. These are 2 that I have on my, hopefully I will get to watch this afternoon. So Needles in My Hand and Crazy Band Lady Stitches. Oh my gosh, y'all. I know I am the worst about this. So Needles in My Hand and Crazy Band Lady Stitches. And yes, that is my horrible handwriting. Yes, I know, serial killer. I know. But I know I talk fast, so maybe if I hold it up for a minute. Needles in My Hand and Crazy Band Lady Stitches. And then last week, or week before, one of y'all asked, and Dottie is Stitching Scotty. And she always has some fun projects. And so I will try to remember to do better about that. Oh, and I forgot to grab the chart. Lori Kay said the chart I showed last week with the little elf feet. It's a Lizzie Kate with the little elf feet like this. And it said, "Where's the party?" And she said you could change it to witch's feet and still say, "Where's the party?" And yes, it would be so cute for little witch feet shoes. So absolutely, that is a fabulous idea. But I forgot to grab the chart so I could show it. And Elena, you said that you learned to sew to make your Folklorico costume. In Fort Worth, we have the Ballet Folklorico, and I have been fortunate enough to see them perform twice. And it is stunning. So if y'all want to get down a little rabbit hole today, look up Folklorico. Here in Fort Worth, this is what it's called, Ballet Folklorico, like this. But look up Folklorico dancing. It is beautiful. It is so beautiful, and it is percussive, and the colors and the movement, it's fabulous. So, Elena, and that is a lot of fabric. You just went all out to learn on something, because that is a lot of fabric in Folklorico costumes, those big full skirts, and it's just beautiful. So, thank you, Elena, for keeping that art going and alive, and allowing us all to watch and share. I appreciate it because it is so beautiful. Mary, I am sending all the love. Her husband's Alzheimer has advanced and she can't leave him. He has to, she's with him all the time and all. And y'all know I had Mama from Sunday morning to Wednesday afternoon, evening. And she did good. I mean, she did really good sleeping here. We were worried, sleeping her in a different place. But CJ and Wani were here, and the kids came over with Baby Catch and all. And I don't see James's tablet. I may slide off in a minute and see if I can get it at the end, if he left it over there anywhere, and find the pictures that are on there that I didn't get to show y'all last week, because he did take it to work with him for the first time probably ever. I don't know. But I am so sorry. It is hard. It's hard. She did really good, but James makes her nervous. And so when, you know, of an evening when we would, you know, after we'd eaten and everything, we'd go in there to watch a show or something. And I would sit in my wing chair over here and she would get in this one, and James always sits on the couch. He always sits on the couch. Even when I make him move from one end to the other one to keep from wearing my cushions out, he still sits on the couch. And she'd say, James, do you want to sit here? I don't care where I sit, I can move. And he'd say, no, Mimi, I don't ever sit on those chairs. I sit on the couch all the time. You know, and in 5 minutes, she'd say, James, do you want me to get up? You can sit in this chair if you want to. I don't care where I sit. And he'd say, no, Mimi, I don't ever sit there. I always sit here on the couch. I don't ever sit in those chairs. They're too small for me. And, you know, 5 minutes. If she said it once a night, she said it, I don't know, 5-10 times. It just, you know, I think because he's there and it makes her nervous, and it, you know, just kind of rolls around in her head, and she can't, it just like pops back up, and that's what she thinks about. You know, we did start on the new medicine. So she's taken the Namenda, which is the Memetine, the generic Memetine. She's taking it twice a day. She takes it morning and night. And then they added, and I don't have it here, donazepam at night. And she did seem to, hello little mockingbird, sleep a little harder and a little longer. So maybe that's a good thing. But she seems to be doing fine on it. Of course, I can't tell a difference, but she's only been taking it, you know, this week. So who knows? I hope it'll help. But Mary, I'm sending all the love, because it's hard. It's just hard. And Sherry, I love that y'all are enjoying y'all's time. She sent me a message when she's on the beach in North Carolina, I think she said. And she said they told their kids that the mom and dad bank had gone out the business. And I love that. Spend your money, use it up, enjoy yourself. People work hard. And when you get to where you can enjoy it completely, whatever that means for you. For some people, that means, you know, still working. Some people, because that's what they do, that's what they like doing, that's fine. But if not, and you're where you are able and you can go vacation and hang out together and do stuff, I love that. We have two friends, and they are Kelly and Vance, and they are our age, and they have took off and are living in the RV. And I love it. I love it. That makes me crazy happy. So, Sherry, I love that y'all are there, and I just enjoy every minute. And Linda, the movie theater on the square in Waxahachie is still there. It's not a movie house anymore, but they have, it's a small venue, because the movies used to be, you know, so small compared to what they are now. But they have singers and little plays and things come in, and still, you know, they have it through COVID, of course, but it's still there, still beautiful, still looking fabulous. So I love that y'all went there then. James and I saw Alien there, and Top Gun there, and The Great Mouse Detective, Our First Date there. So I love that it's still there. Y'all know my daddy worked in the courthouse always, and so the courthouse is here, you know, the square goes around, and the movie house is right over there. And so the square always, it makes me so happy. I love it, and I can nearly tear up thinking about how much I love it. That's how weird and crazy I am about my hometown. It is beautiful. It's the best. It's incredible. And the movie house is still there. And Kathy, I do talk fast, and I'm sorry. It is such a, it's a problem for me, because the more excited I get, the faster I talk. So I will try to do better. But Stitcher Mel, who y'all know I love Mel, she's fabulous and knows the things. So she said that you can slow down your videos, which I didn't realize. So she says if you're on your computer, go to the little gear thing that looks like the gear and click it. And one of the things under it will say playback speed. And she said if you go to like 0.75, that slows it down like a quarter. And if you go to 0.5, that'll, slow it down half. And if you're doing on your phone, where it has the 3 little dots in the corner? Click on that. And then one of the little options will be playback speed. And same thing, click on it and try 0.75 and see if that puts me on the right speed. Because I do, the more excited I get, the faster I talk, which is ridiculous, but I'm an adult and I should be able to not act like a child, but that ain't happened yet. Still waiting, because I do it everywhere, no matter what's going on. That's just me. Kat Roberts, who is the Artful Tart, I was laughing at this. She said, because we're talking about James Williams putting his name on his food and telling the kids not to eat it, and all this is his, like we didn't have no food around here. She said she worked with a lady and they bought separate food. Like, not only did they have separate food, they purchased separate food. And sometimes the husband would bring this woman that she worked with lunch, and she'd say, did you make it out of my food or your food? And it was okay for him to make her lunch out of his food, but he couldn't even touch her food to make her lunch out of. So there are people that are way more regimented in their life than I can be, okay? I'm doing good to have the heel of my sock on the bottom of my foot. James Williams, I've told y'all a million times, the toe of his sock, he'll sit there for 5 minutes until the seam at the toe of the sock is, and then he has to pull it up, all the way up to his knees, and they have to be just perfectly straight, and I can't live that life, okay? Do I have on 2 socks? Go! Do I have on 2 shoes? Go! I cannot be that persnickety. I don't guess about anything. Like he says, is there anything you don't do by the seat of your pants? And I'm like, no, not that I can think of. I love to say, hey, let's have the kids over tonight. And he's like, nobody can come at a moment's notice. Don't you know people make plans? He has to have a plan for everything. James Williams has a plan for the plan. It's insane to me. It's his deal. You go, you do what you want, but it does not work for me. That is not my life. It is not. I can't go like that. I can't live like that. That's too much. Too much. So that cracked me up that they had that rigid a plan and that he could bring her lunch out of his food but not her food. I don't know. That is, And Yvonne, I am thinking about you. I know it's sometimes dealing with mom, I'm like, oh, but her parents both have Alzheimer's and she's in a wheelchair. So I want to say that I am grateful that, sister and I are both able to go and to try to do what we can, because that would make it, like you say, 1,000 times harder than it is already. You just don't think about, some of our family members graduated and some of them, they went to stay at a hotel because they couldn't stay with these other family members because they had stairs going in their house and everything, going into get into the house, and they're in a wheelchair. And you just don't think about things like that when it's not your day to day. So that would make it even harder. So I'm sending all the love that way. And Jackie and Crafting with Dina, they learned to sew on their grandma's sewing machine. And that made me so happy. And Crafting with Dina, her grandma's treadle machine is what she learned to sew on. So I love that. I love that. And y'all know I do have Granny's quilt out, her Around the World here. I've got it under the thing so you can't really see it. So my great granny pieced that. I was the last one that got that one pieced of the grandkids before she wasn't able anymore and passed. And so I love that little gingham Around the World. makes me so happy, and I use it a lot of the year, a whole lot of the year. I put it up in spring a lot of times and fall, but the rest of the time it stays out because I love to have it around me, and I should probably not use it so it would, you know, last better. But if it's all put up, I can't see it, and then I don't get to think about Granny as much, and so that just defeats the whole purpose of still having it around, I think. So I don't know. That's probably not the right way to think about that, but that's the way I think about that. Cece, I did not know these things had listed. We were talking last week about a needle guide. You know, trying to find a needle size guide. Jane was talking about it. Cece says 1-2-3 Stitch sells them. And it's got like 6 cards in it. And it shows these are tapestry needles and they're this sizes. These are these Chanel, these are these sharps, these are, and you can hold it up to it and tell what size, because they're like sized right. So you just lay it on there. So thank you, Cece, and I will be getting myself one of those because I did not even know that existed. And Carol, I am so sorry for the loss of your mom. She lost her mom recently. I don't know what we're gonna do when that happens. It'll be hard, and I am so sorry. I don't know what to say other than that, except I'm sorry. Like Ray said that time about going to a funeral, I said, Ray, I don't know what to say when his mama passed. I said, Ray, I don't know what to say. I'm sorry, it just seems so horribly insufficient. And he said, it don't matter if you say anything, just that you showed up. And I had never thought about that. He said, just seeing who took the time to show up or to say anything, or that means a lot. And yes, I am about to cry. We had trauma here night before last. And y'all gonna either laugh or cry with me, depending on where you grew up and how old you are, probably, because the kids are gone. Mike and Justin and the girls are at the Gulf Shores. And a friend was watching the house for them because they've been having all the flooding. So they didn't want to leave the house without anybody in there, where they're supposed to still have all this rain coming in. And so the friend stayed. Watched Lulu, stayed with her until she went. I went and got Lulu yesterday. And oh my gosh, Micah calls me and says, Mama, you got to get over there. Please say you can get over there. There is a problem. A hawk has tried to get one of the chickens, and the little girl what was watching the house run it off. I said, okay, I'll get over there. And she said, Mom, she says it's bad shape. She wants me to find a chicken vet. And I keep telling her there ain't no chicken vet. And y'all, if you're wondering, as my whole life, I've never seen a chicken vet. At 54 years old, I've never seen a chicken vet, okay? I don't know. I mean, your chickens, if they get a cut, you know, you wash it out, put Neosporin on it and all, and get on down the road. There are things you can do if they got a little bit of upper respiratory problem and stuff, but as far as I'm aware, there is no chicken vet, okay? So James Williams has got home this time. I said, hey, I got to go over at Micah's. And he said, he said, I'll drive. I said, if you'd drive, I'd appreciate it. And he said, well, how come? I said, because listen, if I walk back out to this truck with a chicken, don't say a word. Do not say a word, okay? He's like, whatever. I mean, and the little girl's in such a state, she's run to the neighbor's house trying to get somebody to help. I mean, she's a wreck times infinity. Usually if a chicken gets away, it didn't get a good snatch on it, okay? And so after getting over there, I'm not sure it was the hawk. I think maybe there is some eagles that nest just a couple of miles as the crow flies from there. And it's not that many miles that way to where I know there's some more nesting. And the gashes on this thing, and this was, I assumed when Micah called me, it was one of the little silky chickens. You know, they have some of them little silky chickens. It was the big old Rhode Island red. That thing is huge. And of course, it's the girl's favorite. And I get there, and the little girl watching the house, she's a wreck. And I hugged her for a few minutes. I said, let me go outside. I'll see what I can do. I'll take care of it, okay? And she is just, y'all, her face was not red. It was purple. She had been crying so long and so hard. And I get out there, and there's some feathers right outside where it tried to snatch it. And I see that it's Bucky, and I think, okay. Y'all, it was a wreck. It was a wreck. It had grabbed it and cut it deep on both sides all the way through. And I mean, down into it. It wasn't just superficial. It was down into it. And the chicken had fought. And there were, when it would loosen its grip and tighten down, it cuts. Their talons cut. And there were just strips. And there was no redemption for the chicken, okay? The chicken was going to have to be put down because it was suffering. It was sitting there. Its breathing was shallow. You know, it would look at me, and then it would close its little eyes. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm not as strong, and my hands aren't as strong as they used to be. But I knew the chicken had to be put down. But I knew I could not do it there, because if Shelby seen it, she would, that'd be the end. I mean, she could not take any more. She was so upset that I called Micah, and they had a friend go stay with her because she was that upset. I was that worried about her. And so I go in and get a towel, and I come back out, and I wrap Bucky up. I put her in the basket. And I get in the car, and James is like, seriously? And I'm like, you don't even know, just drive. Just drive. And we get to the house, and I know my hands are not strong enough to do it anymore. So I'm bawling to beat the band. And I have to come in here and ask him if he will come help me with the chicken. Because I said, James, I'm not strong enough anymore to do it. And of course he said, I'll be out in a second. I couldn't just let him hold it. I had to hug it and hold it because I was upset. And it's the girl's favorite chicken, and the poor thing had been sitting there suffering. I was so upset. I can't take suffering. I can't take suffering. I can take a lot of things. I can take a beating. I can take abuse. I can take people being mean to me, but I cannot take suffering. It is too much for me. Animal, human, it's too much. It's too much. So when it's all done, I call Micah, and I say, take a picture of her, you know, in her little nest that I made, all wrapped up. She looks fine for the girls. And I'm that person that I'm like never going to tell my kids, okay? Never. I'm not. I would just say, you know, it went to Jesus. The hawk got it, you know. It went home with Shelby. I'll think of a million different things to keep from telling you the brutal truth. I mean, but we've all seen The Lion King, okay? We know everything got to eat. Everything got to eat. So she texts me back, and she says, Mom, I couldn't lie to him. I had to tell him the truth. But they said, and here y'all gonna know how ridiculous I am. And this is why I still haven't replaced my dog, because I think I'm too old and too sentimental. I cannot get past it. They said it was okay because Shug loved it before it went to Jesus. Too much. Too much. I cannot anymore. I'm not, I don't have it in me. I don't know, but I just don't have it in me anymore. It's ridiculous. I'm like, oh my gosh. But James Williams, he can be the biggest ass of all time about things sometimes, but he was very nice about it, and he didn't tease me about it or anything else, and didn't mention it again. And so I do appreciate that, because I would have been hard pressed. I would have been hard pressed to do it by myself. So I am grateful and thankful. So that was my trauma this week, and that's why I'm a little more emotional than normal this week, because I'm still upset about Bucky. I'll probably be upset about Bucky for weeks. But there it is. So, for what it's worth, that's been the horror of the week around here. We had a nice visit with our neighbors on the weekend. They were sweet enough to have us into their house. A bunch of people came over, and I met some fabulous people that I've got to get some links to some of their stuff, and I'll put it in the drop down. I met a couple that he teaches, and she runs a nonprofit for people with learning differences and for parents that need help with learning differences with their children, and how to be the best advocate and advocate for your children and make sure that they have an IEP in place and all these things, that if you have a learning or neuroatypical, child or anything like that, that you need to know the best ways to help them. And so I loved meeting them. They were fabulous. I bet his classroom is beyond fabulous. So I loved meeting them. I loved getting to meet some more of my neighbors that I hadn't met. So that was super sweet of them and super fun. That's what we did on Saturday night before we got Mama on Sunday. So James, I stayed way longer than James, but he had a couple hours of social time and he was done. So I stayed a little bit longer because it's just down and across the street. So we just walked over and back, but it was nice. But then we had that little bit of trauma. For Happy Mail this week, I had a strange experience. Have y'all ever seen this? And I'm going to fold this over because AB may not want y'all knowing her address. Amy Brown does the cards that I send y'all most of the time. I make a couple, but AB makes thousands, and they're beautiful. And I should put the link. I've put the link before, but I don't think it's been in recently. It's empty. I mean, and she sends, it's like full of cards, okay? Because she knows I send so much. Received without contents. So I guess from where it started in Colorado, it got to someplace and the guts had come out of it. I mean, there ain't nothing in here. It is the weirdest thing. So I have to call her today and say, AB, I don't know what happened, but somebody stole all your cards out. How strange is that? I have never seen that before in my entire life. Yeah, so that was my weird postal experience this week. I guess yesterday I got it out and I thought, what in the world? AB sent me that's so flat. And there's nothing. There's nothing in there. So I don't know what in the heck to think about that. So I've got to message her and let her know what I need to do to, I mean, if nothing else, she should get her postage back, I would think. Says it's empty. Good grief. On to whips. Enough of my whining and kvetching and all. I did June 1st, cross stitch camp started, and you can look at, there's a Facebook group. It's a cross stitch camp with an exclamation, and it's at Colorado Cross Stitcher on Instagram is heading it up, and she's going to do a start. You do a start and a finish, and then you try to finish it by the end of the month. I don't think I'll finish this, but it was my opportunity to get a start on it because I want it done by fall. So I probably won't get it finished, but this is my June 1st start for cross stitch camp. And I'm going to change the words, but this is Hello from Liz Matthews. This is All Hallows Eve. It is beautiful. I just love those Quaker pumpkins. Is the name of it. All Hallows Eve is not the name of it. Quaker pumpkins is the name of it. But it is beautiful. It was a little light for me, so I started it on dirty linen. I think everything's going to show up. I just put in a few stitches to be sure that I thought things were going to show up. So this is 32 count dirty linen, and that is, I think, Tiger's Eye. I didn't even put it on a board. There was so little on there. But that is Tiger's Eye by, let's see, Weeks Dye Work. So here are the colors. And the one that's in there is the Tiger's Eye one. And it is, I think everything's going to show up on here fine. It's so pretty. The design is beautiful. And so this was my get going on it. It's not solid. You know, it has a lot of stitching, but it's kind of spread out. So I am super excited about getting going on it. It's so pretty. And these colors are Week Style Works Cognac, Sweet Potato, Molasses, Tiger's Eye, Gunmetal, and Carolina Cecil. And they're so pretty. So I just got a few stitches in on that. I had to finish this week, so everything didn't get attention, but several things got some. So, but my finish took up a little bit of my time. And of course, like I said, I had Mom here until Wednesday afternoon. I took her home. So then I have my Noah & Co., which I thought I'd already turned over like that. This is Heartstrings Noah & Co. And this is a true confession on here because I realized after starting to stitch that I started stitching on the wrong piece of fabric, I think. Because it says it's on 32 count. And that it's, I swear that's what it says. 32 count Blue Ridge linen. And that it's 5 by 5 by 7 by 5. I don't know what I did. Because this is way bigger than that. So I don't know. I haven't done the math to figure out what's wrong, but so I took a row of this out because I'm not gonna have enough room. I'm gonna be right on the end or something. But anyway, it's fine. I'll just shorten it up a little bit, but I am loving it. I haven't got the gray inside these windows yet, but this whole section is nearly done. I wanted to get this whole one done and I nearly got it all done. So that made me happy that I did get nearly the whole thing done. But I am loving this stitch. It's beautiful. And like I said, you'll have to get on the secondary market. It's Heartstrings is the company, and it's Noah & Company. And it is so cute. So cute. I'm gonna try to make a stack here that I don't make a loud crash on the floor and give Lulu a heart attack over there. But it is coming along and it's super fun, and I'm just pulling colors as I go along, and I've got them here somewhere. Here we go. So far, I've got DMC 414, DMC 976, DMC 780, and DMC 3031. I've got Classic Colorworks Ruby Slippers, and then I've got my Wicked Stepmother Nutcracker, Love Letters in the Sand, and Woolly Swamp, which I got to name that. Y'all know I'm still happy about it. And Frankie, I need to call you today and see how you're doing after your grandbaby trip. Then I have, this is another Heartstrings. I'm working on 2 Heartstrings. Like I said, they're on the secondary market. This is Bittersweet Season, and there's a Sugar Plum Season, a Strawberry Season, and a something else season that are long, skinny like this. This is the only one I have. One of y'all's offered to do a swap with the Sugar Plum, so we can do it. You can do this one because I want to get them all done. They're so cute. They're so, so cute. And so I had to take out, this row here wasn't showing up, so I took it out and made it darker. So then I redid that row because it was blending in too much, or this one of them. But anyway, I got this done and this here. So, and those are going to be satin stitches in between there. And then all the little fancy beads. And oh, you can kind of see the glitter on there, up in that top part. I haven't quite finished the cat. And then these have satin stitches, and they have outline stitches like this, and beads, and all kind of fun things on there. So this is such a fun little stitch. I'm just using the call for colors, and I think that's the problem, is that this DMC 922 and this burnt orange, when they're side by side, just go together. I mean, you know, the burnt orange does have variegation in it. I mean, nice variegation in it. But when it's up next to it, it just blends right in. So I think that's part of the problem that I've had, and I've had to switch up some and pull some around and all to try to make them show up. But it has some little beads on there, and then it has the Wrinkle Thread. He has some, and I don't have him on here. I think it's called, I don't know, but it's sparkly, something sparkly. But I don't know. The black isn't giving me as good a coverage as I think I would wish. But I may go back and add something. I don't know. Possibly, possibly not. But I am loving stitching on that guy, and we're getting close to the bottom because here we are, 1, 2, 3, 4 bands down. So we're one row above here, so we're right here. If I can get that to do right there. So he is coming right on along, and I am happy about being a better stitcher a header. That's making me happy because I like not having to be at the very last second. I do like some seasonal stitching, so that I used to always stitch monogamously, stitch one thing at a time. But I do like that now I can be doing a seasonal stitch, but then I can start getting some of these other things finished and done. Even if I just work on them, you know, some during once a week, I can get them done by the season of, and then they'll be ready to roll. So that's making me happy. I never thought that I would like having, and I don't have tons still, but I like having, you know, 7 or things going, and then I can work on some of the out of season ones and get them done. So the last whip is Summer Jubilee. Summer Jubilee by Blackbird Designs, and it is in the Just Cross Stitch, and some of y'all said you couldn't find it. August 2003 Just Cross Stitch. I don't know if you call them, if they'll send you a PDF download. If you don't, but if you can't get Souvenirs of Summer, because it is also in this book. See, here it is here on the back cover. This is the back cover of Souvenirs of Summer, this Blackbird book. So if you have this Blackbird book, or you get this Blackbird book, you can have it and all these other things in here, because this one is in here. I did mine on light fabric. It's on Ancient by Picture This Plus. I always forget the name. Ancient by Picture This Plus. And this one is super fun. I know I say that a lot, but I mean, I think my stitching is very fun. I love it. And these are my colors that I've pulled so far. It's nearly, I guess most of it, or half and half at least, is my Wicked Stepmother. And this, they're so pretty. This is how I like things. Real colorful. That makes me happy. And I got, this stem is new. This is finished. It was about down right here. And then this leaf got filled in this week. So not a ton, but some. And it does have a lot of activity behind it with those color splashes. But I think with the colors I'm picking, it's showing up fine. And it is so, this design is just so pretty and fun. And I just love it. I love it. Y'all know I love me some Blackbird. And I think this is the Blackbird weekend sale too. This will be the first weekend of the month. So if my brain is firing right, which no guarantees, right? Yeah. Before I die of thirst here. I think that's this weekend. But my finish is Happy Birthday, America by Brenda Gervais with Niecielynn thread. It is so cute. And I have the finishing stuff, but Kim was out of the little boxes. I think they're 4x2 or something, or 4x. And they didn't have it at the Hobby Lobby. And they didn't have it 2 inches high and 4-inch diameter box. And it says that, you know, different dimensions won't work. And it, you get the, I got the little fabric and the whole shebang bang here. But it is, and I haven't put the little blue ribbon around his neck, but that's, I won't do that till right before I finish it out on the little thing. But how cute is that? His wings are a little, see if it'll focus, little Smyrna crosses. These are all the called for colors. And I've got the date down here, and then my little initials, I think right over here, yeah. Right over there. So it was a crazy fun stitch. It's so cute. It's so cute, and I cannot wait to get it all finished out. I've got my patriotic decorating up, and I had some, I didn't think I had a Grecian gold. I told Kim to go ahead and give me this one just in case I didn't, but I had a Grecian gold. I had one with just a dab, and you don't need much. So I didn't have to use my, which Grecian gold I think is hard to find right now. Or so she gave me Ye Olde Gold by Classic Colorworks to sub for Grecian gold, and you can see they're really close. So if your place is out of Grecian gold or you're out of it, this Ye Olde Gold by Classic Colorworks is a good sub. And then she didn't have griots, so she gave me Classic Colorworks Antique Lace. And it worked up real pretty on here. This is not the called for linen. This is the back side of 36 count vintage country mocha. But this is the back side of it, so it doesn't show up as much. But it calls for Liberty Gathering by R&R. So it may, the one they have maybe a little bit more gray, and this one's a little bit more beige yellow in it. But I had so much fun stitching this, but I stitched on it, I guess most all the weekend to get it done. So like I said, Mom was here and we were doing stuff, and we went to visit my aunt and uncle, and that we hadn't seen in a while. So I took her over there to visit them, and then we had the kids over, and CJ and Juanita were in all weekend, and they had their prom party Saturday night. So we just had all the fun and all the things. So Mom enjoyed having it all here, and of course I did always. So it was fabulous fun. And for last week, which I don't know if they're in here, which I probably forgot to grab them, and I did. Last week, the shares for last week were the Fat Quarter Shops, Quilter's Cottage, and So She Did. And the recipient of So She Did is Jenny M. If you'll email me, Niecielynn at Yahoo, Niecielynn at Yahoo, your address so I can get it in the mail. And then the Quilter's Cottage was Margaret Miller, Millar. I hope I said that right. Millar. I hope I didn't mess it up too bad, Margaret. But Margaret Millar, if you'll email me your address, and I will also try. I don't think I put the notes in last week. I got distracted. What else is new? I had to go do something Friday. When I got done filming, Micah messaged me and said, Mom, can you? And I said yes, but I don't remember what it was. So I got distracted and did not ever get back to putting the notes up. So I will do better. So this week's shares will be Happy Birthday America. And this little guy here is so cute. Coffee First. Coffee First is adorable by Misty Purcell at Luminous Fiber Arts. And then Happy Birthday America with Untitled Thread, Brenda Gervais. Like the video, comment, and use the word, let me see, I'm gonna use the word happy. Use the word happy if you're interested in this share. Back in there. Or use the word coffee if you're interested in this share. My writing is so insane. Coffee. So, happy or coffee if you're interested in these shares. Be sure and subscribe and like and comment. And those will be what I'll pull the share recipient from, is that. So you need to subscribe, like, comment, and use happy or coffee if you're interested in those two, and I will get them on their way. And then if Jenny M and Margaret Miller will holler at me with their address, I will get that in the mail to y'all. And I think that's probably all I have today. And Lily's been such a good girl. She's been sitting over there in the chair, just taking a little rest the whole time. We're supposed to get flash flooding, shower, storm, something off and on again all day today. So what else is new? But like I said, we're better appreciated because we won't get anything more till October. Once it stops around here. That's the end, normally all done. So I think that's it. I'm sure I forgot something, but if not, I'll try to remember to tell y'all next week. Have a happy Friday and enjoy your stitches.